happening? What's happening, Javi?
What's up, guys?
Good.
Air high five. So we are here with who?
Javier Olono.
What's up?
Well, he's got an Enye in his name.
Does.
Olono.
What the heck is an enye? First of all, let's ask the source.
It's what makes
It's a little squiggly thing.
It's what makes La Cañada
Ooh.
La Canada.
So it's actually called a tilde. And then whenever you put it on top of the N, that is called an enye.
Spell that. Spell that.
Tilde.
Yes.
All right.
So-
So we asked Javi to come in. Who is Javi to us? And you can't use agent first.
Javi's actually probably the best example of a mid-20 individual that kind of sets the example for big things
For sure.
to follow, in my opinion.
Mine, and I've said it before, is I don't want my daughter to marry anybody because I want her to live at home forever in celibacy. She could be a nun. That's pretty much the only job path. But Javi is the type of kid, that young man, that I want my daughter to marry. It says a lot.
Thank you, guys. That means a lot. I appreciate it, and it makes me strive to be better too. So.
And he's the only person I know that's hairier than I am.
Yeah.
Hey.
He's actually shirtless right now. So besides all that, Javi is a buyer agent on Team Integrity. Last year, how many transactions did you do?
Oh goodness, I think it was 19.
19?
Yeah,
First full year of real estate?
that was my first year. Yeah.
Jeez.
Oh wait. You're talking 2018? Or you're
20
talking 2017?
2018.
2018,
Yeah,
I
more
did
than
39.
39.
Yeah.
So 19 first year, which wasn't even a full year.
Right.
And then 39?
Yes.
That's awesome. And because it's public knowledge, we talk about it. What was your commission last year that you took home?
Goodness. I think you guys probably
In the
know
70s?
better than
Yep,
me.
it was just under 80.
Yeah,
70s.
just under 80,000. So Aaron and I did the math a couple months ago, 2 months ago, and you made more at 25 than Aaron and I made combined at 25 years old.
Nice.
Now, granted, with me, I was working at churches and stuff like that, and I don't know the equivalent to rupees.
Yeah, and I was going to say, back when I was 25, that was right after the wheel was invented, so it's not, that's not saying
Actually,
much.
gold coin now
So, yes,
is worth quite a bit. So the reason why we wanted to bring Javi on was to talk about for two things. Is this is going to be a little bit geared towards the younger generation, right? And the other one is that we've heard the saying from Kristen Cole and some other people is that you're never more than 5 years from where you want to be, reaching your goal. And then we want to talk to Javi a little bit about...
You just got to know where you want to be.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Where he's come in 2 years.
Yeah.
And some of the instrumental stuff like
And
that.
let's just kind of back up. So if you start to... I will be 50 here very, very... Actually, in hours. Closer to hours than days. So, yeah, I know.
Days.
Exactly. So it's 50 and talking mid-30s.
34.
Mid-20s. So you start to do the math there, kind of... There's a couple generations. That
So I'll be 35
Yeah.
in a month and a half. So literally, so we've got 25 years older, 10 years older, and 25.
Yeah. So there's a lot of, I'm going to say wisdom and mistakes.
I'm in that
That have been
area
made,
where
so,
I'm still
yeah.
doing stupid stuff, but I'm learning from them quickly.
I have fun doing stupid stuff.
Yeah.
So that's the cool thing. So, and that's trying to help him out to figure out what he wants in life and kind of go from there. That's what I want to hear.
Absolutely.
So
give us your story.
Give you my story. Okay. So
When you were a little niño.
when I was a niño, I was born here in Tucson, Arizona. Grew up on the south side of Tucson. That's where my parents got their first house. And then we moved out to the Vail School District when I was in 3rd grade. So grew up in that area out there. Made a lot of good friends, a lot of connections that I still, those are my people out there. I love them, and that'll be my friend group forever, So grew up out there, went to, like I said, Vail School District, graduated from Cienega in 2011. Then I went to the U of A, got a scholarship to the U of A for academics out there. Didn't really know what exactly I wanted to do, so I kind of bounced around a lot, changing majors left and right. I think I was like business, and then I went to psychology, and then I went to undeclared, and then I went back to business, and then I went to communication ultimately. Like, I didn't know what the heck I wanted to do.
Yeah.
It was a time where every class I went to, I was like, this is awesome, this is what I want to do. And then I go to a different class, I'm like, this is awesome, this is what I want to do. And then it was like, man, I don't know what I want to do. So I just kind of, it was a time of learning and growing and all that good stuff. And then while I was at college, this is kind of how I started getting interested in real estate.
So graduated in communication?
Graduated in communication, that was 2015. It kind of sucked though, because it was a rough time. Like, I was making a lot of changes and everything. There was stuff going on in my personal life. I had that scholarship, but I ended up losing it like pretty early on in my college career. So because of that, I took on a bunch of jobs. I was working like 3 jobs at a time one time so that I could pay for school. Like, I didn't want to take out any loans. I was
smart.
So against that. So I worked a lot, like all the time. I was either at school or I was at work. And then if not, I was at night, I was going out and partying, and that's kind of why.
So what you're saying
that's what got you in trouble with the scholarship?
That's what got me in trouble with the scholarship.
So what you're saying, though, is that you were able to pay for your school while working while going to school?
Right, yeah. So I was able to do it. I did get, apply for the FAFSA grants and all that, so that definitely played a role as well, a big role, but I didn't take out any loans. I was able to pay for it.
Dude.
Just off of
we know
working.
There's a ton of people that their debt is enormous.
Yeah, no, and we look at those stats and everything, and what is in the trillions or something, like student loan debt or some ridiculous number. Yeah, but anyway, did not want to be a part of that. Did not want to contribute to that. So I worked hard. Was able to pay myself, through college. Didn't have to take out any loans. Then graduated. Took a job up in Scottsdale where I was a management trainee for an electrical distributor out there. And first job out of college, I was like, dang, this is a good little title. It's going to set me up nice. It's going to teach me business. Like, I always wanted to learn hands-on. So they literally, from the ground up, I started in the warehouse out there through the program. Then they moved up to counter sales, and then all the way through the whole system. So started out there in Scottsdale, figured out, I love the people out there, but just the business, I didn't see myself doing that long term. So
we're passionate about it.
Right. So I took some time off. I think
How long were you there?
I was there for just under a year. Under a year there. And then, like I said, I quit, took a couple months off. I built up enough because I had always had that interest in real estate. I had read that book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, while I was in college, and I just, it kind of piqued my interest, and I said, this is something that I want to do. I want to see myself in real estate, investing in real estate, maybe someday helping people with real estate, but it didn't seem stable to me at that time. I needed something, at least in my mind.
100% commission.
Right. There's no, in my mind, there's no stability.
Yeah.
That's what I had heard. Okay. So I needed that stable job so I could set myself up. That's why I took that job up in Scottsdale. And then I found that I wasn't fulfilled doing that. So that's why I had taken some time off. And it literally like 2 or 3 months where I didn't do anything. Like, I went to the music store and rented a freaking violin and was like teaching myself how to play violin because serious? I'm dead serious. Like,
okay,
that's awesome. I'm like, seriously, because I didn't know what I wanted to do. Like, okay. So like, I need to do something to keep my mind busy. So I bought a bunch of books.
How good did you get the violin?
Hey, it was like right
it's
around...
a violin or a fiddle, dude? Come on, which...
So it depends on the music you play. Okay. No, I'm not a freaking expert, but... No, it was around Christmas time, so I was literally like Silent Night and like Frosty the Snowman. Like, I was pretty alright. Like,
could you pick it up right now and play Frosty the Snowman?
No, so I when I had rented it, it was all good. Like, they set it up for me and everything, and then for Christmas the next year, my sisters got me a violin because I had been wanting it or whatever.
You still have it? You still have it?
I have it, but I don't know like if what they did
Christmas
at
party.
the rental
Christmas
place.
party is so on this year. Okay,
I gotta
How are
practice.
we just now finding this out?
well, hey, I think Taylor knew something about this. Was trying to explain it. I was like, no way.
Yeah,
but,
no,
okay.
yeah, seriously. But anyway, they bought me the present, and I tried playing it, and like I don't know what they did with that rental, but I could not make noise come out of this screen. And I was like, it's got to be the strings. I don't know. And
Because it's obviously not me.
It's not me. I know what I'm doing here. So it's got to be the strings. And I tightened the strings too much. I popped one of the strings, and I hadn't touched it since. But
oh my.
Anyway, just trying to keep my mind busy. So yeah, the violin was one way I did that. The other way was picking up more books. So I read Dale Carnegie, How to Win Friends and Influence People. I read some other like people books. You know, I love people. I love interacting. I want to see how to do that. So the more I read it and the more I did my research on the real estate game, I said, you know what? I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to take that leap and do it.
Let me ask you, from a parental standpoint, what was the mindset of your parents at this time going, okay, hey, son, you know, you went to college.
Right.
And now you're getting into
Fiddling.
and you're fiddling around.
Literally.
And you know what? You spent all this money, you got all that effort there, you've got, you know, your
Right.
degree, and you want to get into real estate that unfortunately currently does not require.
Yeah. I think there was some
Before
hesitancy there just
Okay.
because I had gone to college, and real estate isn't something that you need a college degree to
Correct.
do. So it's like you had a good job coming out, you had all the benefits, like it was just a big risk, you know.
Yeah.
So I mean, they're always going to support me. There's no doubt about that, and I love them for that. But I think I could definitely sense a little bit of a hesitancy
Exactly.
there. So
And I can see, and that's the thing is, I wish there was it required a degree to get into real estate.
Dude,
That would actually help
his
out.
degree's in
dramatically.
fiddling.
Yes.
Yours is in crew chiefing.
Yes.
Mine's in my 4-year degree's in religion.
Yeah. I don't. Yeah. So and tend to be doing pretty darn good at
Yeah,
it,
right.
you know.
Yeah.
So yeah. So where did you shift gears?
not-
So you I remember when we first met.
Yeah.
You
So
know,
that
you
was
were
another
kinda-
thing. I had been reading the books, and then Anthony Sotelo is actually an agent
Yep.
here. I reached out to him, and I was like, "Hey, man, I'm thinking about getting into it. Do you think I can, shadow you or see what you got going on?" So I went on a buyer presentation consultation
Yep.
with him. He brought me into the market center, and we did like this mastermind thing, and that's actually where
Yep.
I met you. And I just loved the environment. Everybody was talking about growing themselves personally and how to, different books that you should read. And I remember I had this little notebook, and I was just taking all
I remember
kinds
Yoda
of
taking notes. I do.
notes all over the place. Yeah. And then I had gone to some other brokerages, and it was just not the same. It wasn't that
Culture.
feeling.
We dragged him out for a little while on the hiring process, didn't we?
You did. I was sweating it out.
And it was purposely to kind of figure out what the. And hold on a minute, this kid's got a degree. He's doing it. He doesn't know what he wants to do. So how are we going to gear him to kind of go in the direction that he wants to go? And can we get him?
But you see people's hunger there. Like
Yeah.
when I got into the CEO position with Anthony Azar, we've had on the podcast, it's like a 3-month process.
Yeah.
But at the end of that, it's like, I think those people that are not committed bounce 2 weeks in.
Yeah.
So let's go into this part of it is let's go Javi, me, then you. Okay. Javi, so what would you tell somebody that is either just out of high school or young 20s trying to find their way? Meaning they might be working a good job or a great job or a job that by their parents' standards was like they've arrived and they haven't found value in it or passion, or somebody that is showing up every day working a job that they hate and feel like they should be further along.
Yeah.
What advice would you give them? What would you tell them? What would you tell yourself 2 years ago?
Man, that's a really good question. And I think it just comes down to, it sounds so cliche, but you got to do what makes you happy at the end of the day. And that's kind of something that I had to find out for myself, is I did have that, secure job that was going to lead me on this right path and everything. But at the end of the day, if it doesn't make me feel good, if I don't feel good about what I'm doing and that I'm actually helping people. Fulfilled, right? I didn't feel that way. So you got to just find out what that is, and if it takes you time to figure it out, then it's okay. Like, you can take that time. Don't settle. You know, you can always get what you're going for. You just have to have that goal in mind. So set yourself that goal first, figure out what it is, and then, you know, go get it and do whatever it takes to make it happen. If you got to work 3 jobs at once to make it happen, and do it. Like, there are going to be sacrifices in there, but make it happen because it'll be worth it.
So none of this was handed to you?
No. I mean, obviously I had a lot of support along the way.
Yeah,
there's no way I'm going to, take credit all on my own for that, but I mean, I had to work for it at the same time. Yeah. It's not just going to happen.
You had to study, you had to work jobs to pay for school. You had to do well in school enough to graduate. And we did that for you. You had to put in the work up in Phoenix to climb up, because I'm sure that if you would have gone through the orientation side and sucked, they wouldn't have moved you up.
Right.
Sales desk, so on and so forth. You had to study to pass the real estate license. And what we've seen is you work your butt off to serve clients at the highest level possible.
Right. Right.
None of that was, we can hand you leads all day long, but it takes you to convert them.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So work hard.
Work hard.
I guess. Yeah. Do that.
Don't quit.
Don't quit. Work hard.
And I don't know if you picked up on this, is that one thing I appreciate about you is that you are constantly trying to figure something else out. Like, I think the violin's a funny example of that, but that you had to keep going with something to keep your mind, like, picking up and how many instruments can you play, Aaron?
None. Maybe a harmonica. Maybe. But I've never tried that.
I can play.
I would probably drool all
XM
over.
radio.
Yeah,
There
you go. Yeah. No.
But that constantly learning something stimulates your brain.
Yeah.
Keeps you learning bass. It's huge.
So that was it. Is what?
I would say my biggest one is enjoy the process. We talked about that before and whatnot, is enjoy the process of it. Like, you can show up to, how long did it take you to graduate?
College, 4.5 years.
Yeah. Mine was over the course of a decade, is to get my degree. Enjoy the process, have fun in the process, enjoy the process, because you're not always guaranteed the destination. So enjoy the process. Like, have fun in the mediocre, have fun in the remedial, have fun and take advantage of the small moments and create memories. I wish I would have, I guess this would be mine, is I wish I would have created more impactful memories when I was younger. And they're not always expensive backpacking trips through Europe.
Correct. They may, opportunity comes across many times, and it's slowing down long enough to capture that opportunity.
Like, I look at just enjoying the small fun things. Like, there's conversations that the 3 of us have had where we've been in tears laughing, enjoying the process. That would be mine, is enjoy the process. And I, along with hobbies too, is 99.9% of the times you're not going to be handed anything. You gotta put the work in.
Yeah, and don't expect to hand it. I think chase the passion, not money. I think too many, and I'm going to say this, I think too many younger people will chase an occupation. They'll chase a job. They'll chase something because there's a money stigmata attached to it, and they find out that they're not happy doing what they did, even though they can be making good money, and ultimately they're leading a life or living a life that's really not them. And if you're chasing a passion and you attach that passion to your success, money is just a byproduct of it, And I think that's the thing is, I understand that real estate's not for everybody. I get it, you know.
It's not for most.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I would say most, you know. But the thing is, it's lucrative because guess what? People will see other agents making money. But here's the thing. You go right back and talk about what you did. They're not willing to put in the hard work. They don't want to hear that.
Yeah.
They don't see what goes on behind the scenes.
The other one I think this is, I don't know if this is necessarily a younger demographic. It's everybody, but I could see it a lot when I was in 20s and whatnot, is when I was 25, it was all about title.
Oh,
And it wasn't.
That's a pet peeve of mine.
Yeah, it wasn't taking pride in the title. It was pride because of the title. Like I wanted to be the guy in charge. I wanted to be if I wasn't at the top of the food chain, status wise, I was less. Now it's like titles. Anthony Azar said it, you can be right or you can be rich. Like I don't care about titles, but especially, and this is kudos to you, and Javi can attest to this, is like Javi, how much input do you have into the day-to-day stuff when we make changes?
Actually, a lot.
Yeah, everybody does. Like Aaron started the team, and his title is CEO founder, but like this is unlike any organization where everybody's got a say and because everybody's impacted.
I'm glad you bring that up because I think that is I'm going to say an issue with people of my generation or age group because they grew up with all right, status. Who's the leader?
Status.
Who's this? I'm like, no, you know, everybody, in my opinion, is on the same level playing field. It's whenever you step up. That individual can step up, and I don't care how old they are or how much knowledge they have. What passion do they have behind it? And then they start to bring in, if somebody's passionate about something, they're going to go out there and do research on stuff.
Never want to be the smartest person in the room.
Oh, heck no. That's why I'm always the dumbest one in the room. You know?
For sure.
That's where I enjoy it, you know? So,
but it's I'm not always going to be on. That's why we've got other people carrying. Like, you're not always going to be on. Javi's not always going to be on. And that's when you, like...
That's your time to shine?
Yeah.
Whenever it's like, on you.
There's certain times that Jenny's the CEO of the company.
Absolutely.
Because we're dicking around someplace. Like, it's...
And I think it can harm you.
Yeah.
When your ego steps in the way.
Don't chase status. Chase your passion.
And surround yourself around people who are going to want what's best for you, too. And I think you guys are a prime, example of that. And when I did go and look at other groups and teams and things, this team just felt different. You got to find a group of people who are going to push you to be better and help you grow and want the best in you. And that's what I feel with this team,
And Aaron can attest to this, is from me coming out of the pastor world, being around hundreds of people for years and years, same thing, military, is when you see people that are as talented as you are and the potential that you have, we know what you're capable of. Even though you don't see it yet, we know what you're capable of. And it's more than 99.9% of the population out there.
Correct.
So
it's an absolute pleasure having the people that we have,
Oh, for sure.
That's what makes the environment we're in.
We're functional misfits.
We don't have to go to work. We get to come to work, and it's not work. It's just more of a, But the thing is we also have responsibilities that we have to uphold too, and standards. I think that's the big key too. As we start talking about standards, our standards may not, as well as I do. A lot of people they can't meet our standards. It's not a bad thing. It's just that they're just not willing to put that drive and ambition into it to meet the standard, or they can for a certain duration of time, and they get burnt out.
So, Aaron, what would you tell 25-year-old Aaron?
Oh my goodness! If I could go back and do it all over again, I did not know what I wanted to do until literally about 35 years old. I really did not.
But what did you do between 25 and 35? Good question.
I was actually in the military, so it was actually kind of made up for me. I did notice it towards the end of my career, and this isn't a bad thing, it's a good thing. It limited my opportunity being in that realm. So if I were to change anything whatsoever, it's keep an open mind and understand that don't let anything limit your opportunities. However, don't make foolish mistakes. There's individuals that I know of that got out of the military at, 15, 16 years in, and they only had 3 to 4 more to go to retirement. That's a little bit different. Tough it out, do what you got to do. However, if you decide early, it's hard because I think more and more nowadays kids are expected to know what they're supposed to be doing. And I think that's putting a huge burden on everybody's a kid to me, but it puts a huge burden on these kids and stress. You know what? I don't know what I want to do. I don't know, and it's okay not to know.
It'd be interesting to see. Just don't do nothing.
Oh yeah, doing nothing is doing something.
It would be interesting to see
getting you
how many people change their degrees in college from 19 years old to when they graduate. I'm guessing it's in the 90%.
Well, and we can go down that road too, because I think a lot of times right now when things start to get hard for some people, they give up and they move on to something else, and they don't. We talk about the participation trophy, and it's like it hurts people.
No,
because here's the thing, it's hard to see somebody fail. However, sometimes failing is actually learning.
Well,
making you stronger.
My kids' school, they go to Kevin Lehman started school out here, and they do awards and stuff like that. And the principal gets up, and Kevin Lehman's very big on this, who studies adolescence and whatnot. He goes, there's a good chance none of you guys will ever be on the principal's honor roll. And guess what? Kevin Lehman goes, I never was.
Yeah.
Now I own schools. It's.
I think it's a time when it clicks and you get it and you understand. And the good thing is, I think you figured it out early. That's the thing. You figured it out early, so therefore you've got a lot more potential for the long run. You fast forward. You've been in real estate for 2 years now, coming up on 2 years. But where do you see yourself in another 3 to 5 years?
Yeah. That's a really good question, and I know it's not going to be where I'm at now. I mean, if you would asked me 2 years ago if I'd be where I'm at, nope.
And that's what we say. If we limit you and say, okay, hey, you're doing great, let's keep you where you're at, that's limiting your opportunity. And I don't ever want opportunity to be capped out. So it's like, okay, let's figure out where you want to go, and let's figure out how to get you there.
Cool.
So that's this. What are you excited about for 2019?
2019, I'm excited about getting engaged. Is that what I'm going down the personal
Okay,
route?
so
is that cool?
There's only 2 people that watch this, so therefore, so she's not watching right now. Your family's not watching right now. So when are you gonna ask this girl?
Oh man, well, soon I guess.
Oh my God!
So this is
How long have you been
2019.
dating her? How long have you been dating her?
We've been dating for 5 and almost 6 years.
Hey, okay. This is from 2 people that have married out of our leagues.
Yeah.
Do not let her get her eyes checked until after you get married.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. Aaron and I will take you to our welcome to the married out of your league team dinner.
Oh wow, thanks. It means a lot to me. Thanks. No, I'm just kidding. No,
we're co-captains.
Yeah. Excited to join the team.
Well, we're excited. We're excited for you and for her and your families as well.
Yeah.
What else?
So yeah, that's definitely number 1 for me. Number 2 is just growing this business and growing more on the sphere side of things. So helping the people that I know. Last year I was very heavy on the internet leads and the cold leads. This year I'm really focusing on transitioning more to working more with people who I know, and I'm getting towards that age where where my friends are looking at buying houses, and I want to be the one who helps them out with that. So I'm really excited about growing that, and just
to put in perspective, ballpark, how many average calls did you make a month? What was a month? An average?
What, like 300 something, maybe more?
No,
phone calls. Calls. We know your numbers.
Yeah.
Per month.
I don't.
Contacts.
How many contacts?
How many? 300-ish. A month. That's 300 a week. I'm sorry. It was like 300 a week. So
no, you average between 12 to 1,400.
Yeah, I'm sorry. So, I was thinking weekly.
So remember you talked 4.5 years? That half a year was because of math.
That was math. Yeah, big time math.
But apparently he can play the violin.
That's right.
So 12 to 1,400 calls
1,200
every single month.
Yeah.
Because of where you're at in your business versus now you've got repeat clients and everything else. But you put the work in at the beginning so that you get to reap the rewards later on.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
sorry, misunderstood the question. But
You're good.
yeah, 12 to 1,400. That's right.
Yeah.
And 1 year or 1 month, I think I got like 1,800
Yeah,
1
I
month.
remember.
Is ridiculous, but yeah.
That's the hard work you're talking about.
Yeah.
I do have one question, kind of a little bit of a different question.
Sure.
What scares you?
What scares me is not being able to provide for my family. That's number one for me. If I can't do that, if I can't put food on the table and provide the life that they want and that they deserve, I will have failed, and that is not what I want. That's the biggest thing.
That's good.
All right.
And spiders.
And spiders?
And bugs.
And germs.
Germs, yeah, germs. Not as much. You guys think so? Brittany she hates germs, so that has like creeped onto me now. I don't like them as much, but yeah, I tolerate them.
Hey, the longer you get married, you just merge into one person.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, we appreciate your time.
Yeah, thank you
got
guys.
some calls
Thank you.
to make.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Any last words?
No, just thank you guys.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
You good people, man. So, all right. Until
All right.
next time.
We'll have some more.
All
All right.
Peace out.
out.